Hello, how are you today? Hope you're doing well. I was sitting here thinking about tomorrow, how millions of people across the United States and maybe even world will be starting the annual 21 day of fasting at the top of the year. And if you're one of those people, congratulations. It's going to be an exciting time. At least I always think so. I try to take everything from a positive perspective. And so, for those that may feel a little intimidated or something like that, I just thought I would come on here and offer a word of encouragement to you to, be encouraged. Whether this is your first time, your fifth time, or your 50th time, that you are encouraged and know that you can do all things and you shall accomplish this fast and you shall have a great fast. I've been doing this a number of years myself. And sometimes it can be a little intimidating, depending on what's going on in your life. And sometimes we just feel a little wonkish and things of that nature. But know that you are more than a conqueror and that this fast will be absolutely, awesome to you. I wanted to say, whether you're doing this with your church, small groups, or things of that nature, you will. Probably have a schedule and might have things to do. They may have told you even about the dietary things that people do, which is based off the Daniel fast. And you can Google that if you're doing this alone. Excuse me, you should be able to find out, what's on the Daniel fast, or maybe you are in prayer and you know what fast works best for you. You might also be under doctor's orders and you have to do what's best for yourself medically, because we always want to make sure that you are whole, healthy, well, and complete. Okay. So just so I'm sure you know, whether you're doing this corporately or whether you're doing this individually, that, this Daniel fast is based off the book of Daniel. Please go and read it. Daniel was praying for something, and his prayers were held up for 21 days. The warring angels had to, was fighting for it to be released. And that is some of the things, or one of the major things that we are believing for the 21 days, that whatever's, we're believing God for that will be released onto us in this 2026 year. I'm sure you're going to get good teaching that tells you, this is setting the tone for the year. So I'm excited for you. And if not, there's plenty of good teaching. Do your research first, because there's also a lot of false teachings out there too. But do your research and just get under the word and really be encouraged during these 21 days. I encourage you to, I have here, this is a notebook. I would encourage you to get yourself a journal. This is an old journal that I had, and I picked it up today as an example, and it had the scripture of Jeremiah 29:11 in it, and almost made me cry because it made me think about, what, that God has plans for me. So I encourage you to get a journal. Write down your why you're fasting. What are you believing God for? Maybe your church or in groups that you're fasting with might have prompts as well. But even if you're doing it in a corporate setting, I still strongly advise that you figure out your why. Like, why are you fasting? What do you hope to gain from this? If it's your first time, it might be that, I'm a new believer and everybody in the church is doing it, so I'm doing it. Not a problem. You know what? You got to start. Everyone has to start somewhere, right? So, but then begin to really think what you want from the Lord. As a new believer, you're one of your things you might be fasting for is you want to have a deeper and closer relationship with the Lord. So the next 21 days, you might be asking the Lord to show you how you can grow deeper in Him, what tools you can use, and things of that nature. So there's plenty of reasons why people are fasting. And I just believe in having a journal with that information in it. You may journal every day. You may just start it with your prayer hit list of who you're praying for. And I just want to throw this in too. You'll see a lot of people say that when you're fasting, if you're not praying, then you're just on a diet, because you are doing the Daniel diet, which, doesn't have any sweets and no meats and things of that nature. Nature is pretty much grains and fruits and vegetables and things of that nature. Sometimes I just believe that sometimes people might be even intimidated by prayer. And if you don't know how to pray or think that you're good at praying, right? Then I suggest you just, go over to the Gospels. I wrote it down. It's in Matthew 6:9-13, because even the disciples that was with Jesus, they was like, Lord, teach us how to pray. So you can start there. I'm a conversationalist, is what I like to say. And sometimes when I'm praying, I just may pray talking to God like you're talking to a friend. Lord, I need help in growing deeper in you in these following areas. Lord, heal me from this. Lord, clean me up this way. So there are different ways that you can pray, but if you have a struggle with praying, I really strongly suggest you start with the Lord's Prayer. It's something that I still say. I've been repeating it since I was a kid, and it's something that I still, say to this very day. And it's a good, solid prayer. Why? Because Jesus said so. And if you don't know, and it's a good tool, right? And if you don't know where to even begin in the Bible, you don't know, especially if you're doing this on your own, and maybe who knows if your church has promptings of daily readings and things of that nature, and you may need to go something a little deeper. I always say that this is a promise book. This is called a promise book, the Promise Bible book, but it's called the Promise Book. But you can even go online and Google the promises of God regarding whatever subject matter you're looking for. Please do not let what you don't have hinder you, because we're very blessed that we have the internet and we can do some research. But please do your research, because again, there's a lot of false teaching even online. But when you get one of these promise books, and you can find them anywhere, it goes anything from anger to belief to food and clothing to forgiveness. And when maybe I'll show you. So it has all of the titles here, and most of them have that. And then you go over to, anger, and it'll have anger, and it'll have different scriptures. And maybe you'll find a scripture that resonates with you, not so much convicts you and make you feel bad, but maybe resonates with you, and it might convict your heart towards a more, Lord, this is what I want. This is what I need. I was reading earlier this morning in the book of James, if I get this right, it says, be slow to speak, be slow to anger, and be quick to listen. I'm paraphrasing it again a bit. I got it, messed up. I think it's be slow to speak, slow to anger, and quick to listen. I think quick to listen is first. And then it says, because anger is not part of one of God's characteristics, right? So, you can, if you have an issue with anger, that may be a scripture that you stand on. Lord, show me how to be, quick to listen, slow to get angry, and slow to respond to people that are making you a little angry, right? So just, wanted to show you that there are tools and things out there that can help you have a successful fast if, not, I'm not if you want to, because I know everybody wants to have a successful fast. So I just thought I would share that with you. Also, one other thing that I think affects a lot of people, if you're fasting for 21 days, don't quit. Don't give up. Don't feel like you're a failure. Don't feel like you're not doing it right. There's no such thing, right? You are on a fast for 21 days, and you are on a journey, and you are purposeful. You have your journal, you have your why, and you are going to complete this. If during day 15, all of a sudden there's a jar of candy somewhere at work, or somebody brings you a box of chocolate and you pop one in your mouth, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh no, I'm on a fast. I failed. And then you want to quit. Don't quit. You know what? Take that opportunity to say, okay, Lord, thank you. Use it as an opportunity, as an acknowledgement, as a reminder for yourself, because we all could do it. We just absentmindedly, pick up a candy, pick up a chip or something like that. But it doesn't make you a failure. It doesn't make you the reason that you need to stop your fast. Keep going. You just said, oops, sorry, Lord. Let me get back on track. And that's it. I have done it where I put a piece of candy in my mouth, and instantly I'm like, I'm on a fast, and I spit it out really quickly. I look at that as an opportunity of me growing, an opportunity of me thanking God for the acknowledgement. I don't beat myself up over it anymore, but I acknowledge that, okay, this is it. So, if you're doing a solo fast and you have other people in your house, it can be very tempting, but that just shows you have willpower and you can do it. If you're at work, they're always going to have those cakes and stuff floating around, especially in January when people are bringing stuff from their house. But you know what? You can do it, because there is a bigger goal at stake. And there is something that you're desiring from God that is bigger than that piece of candy, that is bigger than that piece of cake, that is bigger than anything that you are not participating in during the 21 Daniel fast for 2026, or whenever you do it. Sometimes, you may find this and you decide to do a 21-day fast in July. It's okay. Whenever you do it. So be encouraged. I hope that you have a wonderful time fasting. I hope that you have, if you don't have a prayer group or prayer partner, that you just have a wonderful time communing and having fellowship with the Lord. So be encouraged this fast, and I'm so excited for you in advance. Have a wonderful day and have a blessed 21 days of fasting this year.